This is part 2 of Relife Anime. If you missed first part of this anime, link in the description. Kaizaki is blushing, but he stops her just before they kiss. He explains that they cannot do this and she must take care of herself. At that moment, Ryou finally arrives at the apartment. Ryou talks to In and tells her that she was out of line. It is then revealed that In was only testing Kaizaki and she also works for the Relife laboratory. Kaizaki is shocked and confused by this. Ryou and In start to argue with each other, but then decide to explain everything to Kaizaki, and reveals that she is actually 28 years old and Ryou is also 27. They work together in the lab, and originally In was supposed to help Kaizaki in his journey, but she failed her tests. Both Ryou and In apologies to Kaizaki for deceiving him and promise that they will do better in the future. In his office, Ryou is writing a report that explains all about Kaizaki and his progress in the program. Ryou remembers how hard the Relife program has been on him. Ryou was originally in charge of being the support of the test subject 1. This was the first client of Relife. The program was not going that well and Ryou was called into the office. There his superiors told him that he was getting too close to the subjects and that he was doing a bad job. Ryou then decided that he will keep his distance. At that same time, he was also tasked with scouting a new potential test subject for Project 2. Ryou went to a store and that is the first time he saw Kaizaki. Relife wanted Kaizaki as their next subject and Ryou noticed how kind and nice he was. Kaizaki was jumping from job to job but was always failing, and also goes to meet with Ryou and the two talk about Kaizaki. Some time goes by and subject 1 fails. Ryou must go and apologize as the experiment has failed. This person had not achieved anything in a year. Ryou was depressed and wanted to give up his job. That is when In told him that Kaizaki was picked in the program. She then motivated Ryou to not give in and try to help Kaizaki. Before the start of the program, Ryou and In met up and they both took the pills so that they look younger. Ryou has started to watch Kaizaki and was worried about him being so sad. Finally, in the present, Ryou concludes his report by saying that he is happy with Kaizaki's progress, and he hopes that he will succeed where test subject 1 failed. Kaizaki goes to meet his teacher. He has once again failed his tests. His teacher motivates him and tells him to not give up. Kaizaki thinks about all the times he has given up on himself and decides to keep going. He gets to spend some time with Hanoka, who is also bad at tests. Hanoka is great friends with Rina. Both the girls are on the volleyball team and they spend a lot of time together. Hanoka has started to get harassed by the other girls. They make fun of her for not being good at school. Hanoka overhears their conversation and gets sad, but her friend Rina sticks up for her. Hanoka then spends a lot of time studying for her next test as she wants to get better. She is very tired and it becomes difficult for her to stay awake. One day during volleyball practice, Hanoka passes out because of all the studying, and this results in Rina getting hurt in an accident. Her leg seems to have been broken and it will take months to heal. Hanoka wakes up in the medical bed at school and tries to talk to her friend Rina. Rina is furious and she insults Hanoka and their friendship seems to have been ruined for the moment. Hanoka invites Chizuru to lunch and the girls go without Rina this time. While they are having lunch, Chizuru notices that something is wrong, but Hanoka does not reveal anything. Rina meets with the teacher and she tells her that she can still come to practice while her leg heals. Rina refuses as she feels that her injury will only hold back the team. Kazuomi and Rina end up studying after school, and Rina is very nervous. Because of her leg, she cannot leave school alone, but she does not want Kazuomi to see her as weak. Rina starts yelling at Kazuomi, but he still offers to help her get down the stairs. Chizuru has noticed that her friends are not okay, so she goes to talk with Kaizaki at his place. She tells him that she has a plan to force Rina and Hanoka to become friends again. Kaizaki remembers his experience at work with the bullying of his coworker. It seems to be something really traumatic that happened. The following day, Chizuru and Kaizaki talk with Hanoka. Akira and Nabu bring Rina and Kazuomi to listen into their conversation. While Rina is listening, Hanoka reveals why she joined this high school volleyball team. She was always only good at volleyball, but all her classmates ignored her. So after a while, she refused to join any school that had a good team. She decided to join this high school, and that is where she met Rina. Rina was the only one who wanted to compete with her, and they became great friends. While Hanoka talks about her friendship with Rina, Chizuru remembers her life. She tells Hanoka that she also was always alone and did not want to spend time with others. But the friends that she has now have changed her life forever. Hanoka notices that Rina is nearby and she tries to talk to her. Rina is in tears and she runs away before they can make up. The day of the match arrives and Rina is still not rejoined the team. Kaizaki and Chizuru go to her house and there Chizuru motivates her to join her friends. Rina goes to play and repairs her friendship with Hanoka. They lose the match but have so much fun. Kaizaki tells Ryou that they need to talk. He requests to have the pill effect taken off so he can visit the grave of his senpai. It is the anniversary of her death and he wants to go. Ryou tells him that he will come with him. Ryou and Kaizaki go back to the place and both take the pill to return their bodies to their normal age. While they go to the graveyard, Kaizaki has many memories of his work with senpai. She was so nice and hardworking, but the people in the company loved to bully her. Kaizaki tried to help but he was not enough. Eventually, Kaizaki found his senpai had killed herself. This trauma has caused him to distance himself from others and he quit his job as well. Ryou and Kaizaki arrive at the grave and there they meet with some of Kaizaki's former co-workers. They tell Kaizaki that he is their role model because he quit working at that horrible company. On the ride back home, Kaizaki thanks Ryou for joining him today. Kaizaki still feels responsible for not helping his friend more, but he wants to change that in the future. Kaizaki and Chizuru walk to school and on their way they meet with An and Ryou. Ryou and Chizuru seem like they know each other. Kaizaki spends a lot of time at school with Kazuomi and they talk about this being the last year of high school. Kaizaki then tells Kazuomi that he should not waste his time and confess his feelings to the girl he likes. Kaizaki and Kazuomi are walking back from school when they spot a man with Rina. Kaizaki notices that this is his former coworker, and the boys get worried. They find out that Rina had heat stroke and the man was just helping her. Kazuomi then walks Rina home. The following night, Kazuomi is thinking about Rina, and he finally realizes that he has feelings for her. Kazuomi finally decides to find his courage and he asks Rina to go with him to the fire festival. Rina then goes to her friends and asks for dating advice. The firework festival begins and all the students attend. Kaizaki, Ryou, and Chizuru all decide that they will somehow get Ren and Kazuomi to be alone so they can confess their feelings. They all have fun at the festival and Kaizaki is happy to be with his friends. Ryou and An also plan to get Kaizaki and Chizuru alone so they can talk. Eventually, Rina and Kazuomi find themselves alone watching the fireworks. They both confess their feelings and begin their relationship. Chizuru and Kaizaki spend some time and there Chizuru admits that she is happy that they meet. Chizuru then remembers all she has experienced in this high school year, and she also remembers how her journey began. She was really the test subject one, and is an adult as well. She is part of the Relife project just like Kaizaki. Chizuru tries to confess her feelings, but she does not want to as she thinks that Kaizaki will forget her. They walk home together and Arata Kaizaki realizes that he has fallen in love with her as well. He does not tell her as all of his friends at school will forget him when the experiment ends. They both promise to never forget each other and enjoy their time in high school. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new anime recaps.